everyone, this is Christine from the Arts Council Wichita Falls with a quick online art lesson. Today we're going to do some neurographic drawing. This type of drawing is intended to be meditative and intuitive, so there are not very many rules to follow. The goal is to allow your mind to wander and flow with your creativity and not kind of think too hard about it. There are a few rules to follow. One is change the directions of your lines as soon as you start to consciously think about where they're going. You're looking for an intuitive line making process. Another rule, don't stop the line in the middle of the page. So either you want to continue your line off of the page or you want to merge into another existing line. And the final thing is don't try to create repeating patterns. You're looking for free-flowing lines and shapes that don't follow a particular pattern. So let's get started. The first step is to take your black marker and you're going to just draw some curved lines across your page. You're not following any pattern, you're just sort of drawing any shapes that you can think of, letting your mind kind of flow, and you've got some shapes. That's it, step one. Second step is to look for all of the intersecting lines. So any place where you have two lines that intersect, you're looking for those places and you're going to fill in with a rounded shape. So you're trying to remove any of your sharp edges and fill in those spaces with a rounded edge. This is, again, really intuitive. This is something to kind of let your mind wander. You don't have to think too hard about it. And all you're doing is filling in anywhere where you have intersecting lines that make a sharp angle. You're essentially removing all of the sharp angles. So we're going to go ahead and do that on this drawing. The other thing you can do is if your lines are thin or a little wobbly and you don't like the shape, you can go back in and thicken those. You can kind of adjust your shapes like this, and you just want to sort of smooth out all of those connecting points. Sometimes you have some that are really close together like this, and if you go in to smooth out those connecting points, in fact you end up just filling in the whole space. That's totally okay. So we're going to do that a little bit here. I'm making some really small shapes. And then this one's so small that I'm just going to go ahead and fill the whole thing in. Same thing here. It's too small for me to fill in and make a circle or a shape with my marker. So I'm just going to go in and fill in the whole shape. Here I end up with a little tiny circle. So we're just continuing on filling in all of the places where the sharp points are. Our goal is to not really have any sharp angles, but just have smooth, sort of organic looking shapes. Again, this process, you're not really looking for perfection. You're just looking for smooth movements. You can kind of let your mind wander a little bit. There's sort of no real right or wrong answer to how you make these shapes connect. It's just how your mind kind of flows through it, and that is why it's called neurographic drawing. This was developed as a therapeutic drawing lesson on the 2010s, I believe. The idea was if you let your mind sort of wander, this is a really great way to release some stress, release some anxiety, and let your creative brain sort of do some of the work for you. So you can see here, I'm just following along, just choosing however I want to make my shapes. You can turn your paper if that's a little bit easier for you to follow the line. Like I just did. So this is step 2, creating your rounded shapes. So now you can see we've got all these organic, beautiful, sort of very contrasty shapes. And then step 3 is to go ahead and color those in. I'm using colored pencils. You can use watercolors, you can use markers, you can use crayons, really any kind of coloring supplies that you have. And you just do this however you want. Again, we're looking for sort of intuitive, free-flowing process. So you don't need to do a pattern. You can do one color, you can do multiple colors, you can do a family of colors. Right now I'm doing blue and green, but I can go in and add in pink. So you're just going to fill in and color all of these shapes. You could use the same color for the whole thing if you wanted to. There's absolutely no rules to how you color these in. That, once you've finished coloring it in, is your finished product for neurographic drawing. As you saw earlier, here's a couple examples. So you can see I kind of just randomly filled in with color. This one, just used blues and greens. I also went in and did, in my original drawing, a circle shape. You can do shapes, you could do triangles, any kind of intersecting shapes that you'd like. Again, this one, just random coloring, some pink, some green. If you don't have colors and all you have is black pens, you can go ahead and fill in with patterns instead of colors. So here I just did thin lines, I did thick lines, I did dots. That's another way to sort of do this process without any coloring tools. That's it. That's how you do neurographic drawing. As you can see, once you've done it one time, you can do it over and over again and create as many projects as you'd like. Thanks for joining us.